No.
Gonna get squished. Oh.
It's Ketchup Packets.
Hi everyone.
Hey everyone.
I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
This is Ketchup Packets.
Yay!
And today we are watching Season 1, Episode 6 of The Expanse. Rock Bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, Rock Bottom.
Episode title name, meaning.
Well, we've had lots of talk so far about, gravity and the source of gravity and stuff like that. And a term like rock bottom makes me think, like a place with gravity, or like the source of thrust is the bottom for most of their living situations, I guess, when they're on spaceships.
I also think like asteroids when I think rock, and then I don't know where the bottom would come from.
I mean, maybe somebody's going to throw a rock at the Earth, because Avasarala did say that she's worried about people who throw rocks. So that could be what this means.
Yeah, where the rock hits the bottom of the atmosphere of the Earth, which is then, the solid part.
Yeah.
Like the ground. Yeah.
Rock meet bottom. Isn't that from Deadpool 2?
I haven't seen Deadpool 2.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking last episode. Oh, we met the butcher, and all those people were destroyed by the UN ship.
Tyrese killed everybody.
Yeah, that's right. That was sad. And we got the crew that's going to meet him now, right?
On the Rocinante, I think is what they named the ship.
I don't remember.
Which
the
is
Rocinante?
Spanish for workhorse.
Oh, yeah,
I think
that's
it's the
right.
name of Don Quixote's steed. His donkey.
Oh, okay.
There's probably some literary symbolism there. Don Quixote tilting at windmills, going on crazy, unwinnable missions. But the fan base was letting us know in the comments that one of the other names suggested for the ship at the end there, the Screaming Firehawk, is the name the fan base uses for themselves. They're the Screaming Firehawks.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Now we know that, and now we're new Screaming Firehawks. So we're not screaming just yet. We're yelping Firehawks right now. I guess.
We're talking Firehawks.
That's right.
Eventually, seemingly, we will be screaming because this show's great.
Yeah, it's really good. The other thing from last episode is we had Miller got black bagged on the street and taken away.
Oh, that's right. Right in the middle of broad daylight. Right on the.
It was clarified for us in the comments that the phone he threw away was the phone that Dawes gave him that had the info about where to find the guy who gored Havelock.
Oh.
So he threw that away as a way of saying, I don't want help and information from Anderson Dawes. I don't want to be indebted to him. And so he threw that away rather than use it to pursue the lead and find that guy.
Oh.
So
teeny
justice for
tiny.
Havelock doesn't matter to him, I guess.
Yeah, teeny tiny details in the show. Yeah, you gotta look carefully. Bet you if you look real careful, that phone isn't cracked the same way that his phone is cracked,
I'm sure it was clear, if we had been paying super close attention. That kind of thing, it's great for the comments to clarify and explain, if we genuinely did miss something. If they're just beginning to build a thing that is going to grow later, like other stuff is, foreshadowing is happening, that maybe is not so much fun to talk about and explain in the comments, because that just kind of, we want things to occur to us naturally. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to venture into spoiler territory on accident. We want everyone to have fun commenting, but we also want to be surprised as the show intends to surprise us.
Love it when you point out details that we saw but didn't catch. But if we are only supposed to catch it because later on something happens that we haven't seen yet and we're supposed to go, oh yeah, then maybe just let that sit.
Right. So what do we think for this episode then? Rock bottom. I mean, we're going to find out who took Miller and what they want. Was that a response, you think, to him throwing away the OPA phone and being like, okay, he's not going to work with us the way that we want him to, now we have to force his hand?
Every time I make a prediction about who those people are or why they're doing this and that, I'm always surprised. So it could very well be a completely new faction that we haven't even been introduced to yet.
It's true. It's still early. I think there are... This was from comments a couple episodes ago, maybe. There are 10 episodes per season, except for seasons 2 and 3, which have 13. I believe I have that right. So we're
on episode 6. Okay.
Back half of season 1 now, so we're getting into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what Fred Johnson has to say to our crew and what their you know, how their interaction will change what's going on. And we'll learn more about why he is now OPA and how he was changed by what he did with Anderson Station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm getting the impression, too, and you guys also said this in the comments, which I thought was kind of interesting, is like, so far, there's not really, like, clear bad guys and good guys. It's like everyone is trying to set everyone else up to look like absolute horrible people, but then we just keep finding out that, like, oh, they just kind of have their own motivations.
It's just politics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I like that, too. It's good stuff. It's... Someone else pointed out Anderson Station, where the massacre was, and then Jared Harris's character, the OPA leader, Anderson Dawes. That's not a coincidence. He's named Anderson Dawes because of Anderson Station. You know, there's like remembrance among working class types about that place. So I think he might have a direct connection to it, even someone was saying, but I can't remember exactly what that was. But yeah, it's not a coincidence that that's the same word.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm excited just to watch. I don't have, you know, it's pointless to speculate. Let's see what happens in Rock Bottom. All right, let's go, Screaming Firehawks.
I need to borrow your spy on Tycho Station.
What for?
To keep an eye on Fred Johnson.
What's sheepdip?
I've heard that term before, but I can't remember exactly what it... I think it's like implanting somebody in a role in order to, like, do espionage stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar.
You know why I quit the intel desk? I couldn't tell anymore if I was still working for the good guys.
I could get the ice cream.
What we were just talking about. Good guys are unclear. It's like that place at Mall of America. Underwater room.
Yep. The aquarium.
That's pretty cool.
You walked off that ship because you're in charge. At least you think you are. If I wanted to hurt you, I would have broadcast your transponder and your position to the entire system. Coming here was your only option, but it was also your best option. Now, you want to continue to play games? Or shall we talk about how to help each other?
If I was in charge, I don't know if I would have just gone out. I would have put my negotiator out there.
Maybe he thinks he is his negotiator.
Hey! You can't do that to him.
Okay, so it is Dawes.
The old EVA helmets used to burn like that. The contacts would coat your skin.
Thanks for sharing.
Would have been more exciting to put the intro at the end of the last scene.
Yeah. Kind of interrupted things.
An abandoned mine in the middle of outer space. Talk about a fun location to be.
Yeah. At least there's very little chance of a cave-in.
That would be so weird.
Yeah.
He's got straps around this rock in the middle of nothing.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's just so bizarre. Whoa!
Why?
What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know if you could really do that.
People in comments before were saying you can stand vacuum for longer than most shows depict.
We're going back to our ship now.
I'm afraid you can't go back to the ship.
Sounds like he doesn't like it. Bye.
I've raised and buried your kind by the hundreds.
Not my kind.
Broken voice. Quick to the trigger. Slow on the uptake. Go ahead, son. Pull it.
Holden, tell the butcher to call off his men, or I'll have Alex vent his bloody station.
Sir, we have a problem.
Big giant machine guns on the side.
How do you care so much what happened to this girl?
Take my job very seriously.
You are the station joke.
You create a bunch of chaos. You stir shit up so you can ride in and save
No
the day,
idea
right?
how close we are, huh? I am talking about independence.
Yeah.
He doesn't even... Never spoken to her before.
Is this really going to be a thing? Dawes has coordinates of some kind tattooed on his arm. Did you see that? He's got a string of numbers on his forearm.
Lock down the net.
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's cool.
This is MCRN Scipio Africanus. Power down and prepare to be boarded.
What do they want?
What do you suppose they're mining from that thing?
Just metals and stuff?
Yeah,
Maybe. Just whatever material's in there? What do Martians want with these people?
Yeah, good question.
Impound our hull. There's nothing left for your tax man. Are we being too hard on you? Should we cut you a break? We're just trying to feed our families, okay?
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for you. Absolutely nothing.
What God gives you the right to life's riches, so
That's what authority does to people.
Power-tripping bureaucrats.
Have a nice day.
Oh.
To take his water?
Yeah.
I went easy on you before, but now you're not gonna pass through the restricted zone on your way home.
They're upset because the Dodger got blown up, so now they're just roughing random people up.
Yep. These guys' attitudes kind of feels like they were doing that anyway.
Yeah.
You're using his crew? How do you know he's not going to space you the second you get out there? Because you're going to rig the Roxy so it only responds to my command. For God's sake. All that's waiting out there for you is more trouble. More death. Why are you so hell-bent home? Because this is my fault.
Chekhov's gun.
But at least he owned up to it himself instead of telling Naomi. I mean, instead of Naomi telling everyone.
I knew.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know.
Because you would have shot him.
You should have said something.
What difference would it have made until now?
Right. They initially didn't want to answer it because they just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's like your sister. All right? Wasn't she like 15 when you let her die out of a belt? Sure. It's part of the legend you like to leave out. Everybody knows his story.
His tattoos are in the same shape as Naomi's, or his scars are in the same as Naomi's tattoos.
To keep her safe.
Would you like me to tell you the real story? She was never going to recover. An impossible burden for a dirt poor family of rock hoppers. I had 3 other sisters to think about. Our family was starving. Do you know, it's possible to cry so hard that your tears turn to blood.
Jesus.
So everybody dies for the cause. Except for you.
Die as you lived.
Die as you lived, he said? You gonna kill him?
Like we are some second-class citizens. Well, enjoy your final day. No! No! God! Oh! No!
What's happening?
I'm sorry! Oh!
Why? What?
One thing. There's 2 possibilities. Is he gonna throw rocks at one of the other ships or something? Oh my god. They didn't have enough resources for both of them to make it.
So he just left his nephew there?
Yeah, seemingly.
Well, what a fate.
Fred Johnson turned his back on Earth. The OPA killed your son. You sure this isn't personal?
You're damned right it's personal.
Have we heard about a dead son before?
All right.
We knew her father was dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's every bar in Mass Effect.
That bucker, ogling you, he's packing a knife on his left hip. Thanks.
This is that kind of establishment? That guy works here?
Oh, you
Is
think
that what
so?
that is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Amos was like, how do they treat you?
Yeah.
I grew up in places like this.
You grew up? I wouldn't have figured that. Yeah, I guess you must have been as happy as a puppy with two peckers, right? I didn't mean it like that.
Like what?
I'm gonna stop talking. Two more, please.
It's an honest living. Why don't you spend some script?
Is he saying that he grew up as a prostitute in one of these places?
I can't.
I'm having a hard time decoding subtleties in this conversation.
At least spending time in a place like this, even if you didn't. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like I said, I grew up in places like this.
They fought to get you off the Donisher. Are there any bodies we need to take care of?
Lieutenant Lopez. It's in the rear hold.
Nice to giving Lopez some respect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure his body's returned to Mars. He's a fellow soldier.
Thank you.
Okay.
They try to access any areas that they shouldn't, and the Rosie's car will self-destruct.
The Rosie, they have a good nickname for it already. They just named it.
You feel confident?
No, Miller. Oh, this is the airlock he threw that guy in. My, how the turntables. But it doesn't hurt as much as it looks like it would hurt.
Yeah, that's right.
Not that much gravity.
Nope.
But it still hurts if they space him. Oh,
no.
Gonna get squished. Oh!
This would hurt.
And give us another lesson on how long a person can stand vacuum. Somebody shot. Oh God! Oh. Is it dogs? Did he kill his own guys? What's the bet? Oh no, it's her. Don't remember what her name is.
Yeah. Haven't seen her in a bit, I feel like. I think I said something a little while ago about him getting his ass beat.
Yeah. It was good.
Changed his attitude. That was bound to happen.
Remains to be seen if it changes his attitude.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
You don't need to do this. We'll be okay. You are an unauthorized. We'll be okay.
Oh, this is what I thought he was going to do. He's going to
crash into the Martians.
Yeah, he was saving his nephew. I was like, why even give him a suit? Yep, throwing rocks.
Maybe this is why Avasarala worries about people who throw rocks, because this guy hurt Martians.
Would do some serious damage to like a city or whatever.
Or to a Martian ship. It's going to tear it to bits, probably. No means of stopping that rotation. You just have to spin.
Yeah, you just got to spin around looking at the nothingness in all directions around you. Yeah, I was thinking it's cruel to even give him a suit if you're just gonna, like, leave him out there to die, you know?
Wherever you are, I hope no one there needs medical attention.
Drinking to Shed.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Shed, I liked Shed.
Hello, respect.
So Naomi's scar is probably supposed to represent, or Naomi's tattoo, I mean, is supposed to represent those scars that Dawes has. Which was about EVA spacesuits, he said, is what caused those.
Yeah, they like burn your skin.
What's that card that he took off Lopez?
Oh yeah. I feel like their suits probably record everything that they experience, right? You know, like body cams only.
Oh, and look, we were right. They do have the cameras in their eyes, because this guy's just watching them, and now we're seeing a camera. Somebody spotted Jim. Yeah, it seems like that chip he took off Lopez probably is something like a body cam. It probably has like his vital metrics and stuff like that too.
Could also be recorded, you know. He could, every conversation that they had could have the full deal.
You know, every time you remember something, your mind changes it just a little. To your best and your worst memories. They're your biggest illusions. My advice is just forget it. Make yourself forget it.
Appreciate that.
Just make yourself forget.
It's terrible advice.
Yeah, bro.
No, don't do this.
No.
Not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. High vulnerability state. Yeah.
It's almost never a good idea to go from crying to doing that.
Yep. How did he not find that?
Julie's.
Who, Anderson, you mean? When he was looking at the hat? Yeah.
He was looking for it. He was looking inside of it.
Well, good on Miller for not taking advantage of her right there.
He thought about it, I feel
He
like.
did, and a
See it in
skeezier
his
man would
eyes,
have.
yeah.
Mhm. She gave him the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we lost Amos.
Oh, he'll be here in a sec.
Wait, so they're going with now?
Seemingly.
I guess I'll put on some coffee.
But then what happens if they get killed or something? Like, wasn't the whole thing that some of them needed to stay back?
You people drive a hard bargain.
You got our recorded statements.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're painting an emblem on there. Painting the outside of a ship. This is totally a Red Dwarf reference.
Think so? Oh,
No.
They got the cool auto painting device.
Yes, the light, and it's a laser printer. It's a human laser printer.
Where'd this recording come from?
Phoebe. That's what I think. Phoebe Station.
I meant, where'd you get it?
The Donager was talking about Phoebe Station.
She bought that from a data broker. She gave it to Dawes. And then, the data broker ends up dead. And ships start blowing up.
We know who's pulling the strings?
Scientists on Phoebe discover something big. It would tip the balance of power. Which leaves someone with a lot of power, a lot of resources, who do anything required, including starting a war.
Okay, so he put the pieces together for us.
man.
Nice. Unless he's wrong.
Yeah. I think he's probably a little bit wrong, a little bit right.
You tell anyone about this?
Just you.
Oh, she knows.
No.
She's in on it. Oh, she just gave it
Anytime
away.
somebody asks if you told anyone else, you say yes.
You're fired.
Dawes. He bought you.
She's being so clearly evil about this.
What, you buy himself a whole police force?
I don't think it's Dawes that she works for. Something tells me she's covering
Go for these days.
Yeah.
for someone
There's
else.
someone else involved in this, yeah.
I'm tired of speaking to a child.
You know, I'm tired of
No, not the mysterious smoke ball thingy.
Now we'll never know what it was for.
If he gives you any problems, feel free to shoot him.
Oh, an anarchist.
Oh.
Was that an OPA tattoo?
Yeah, I think so.
Looked like the anarchy
Yeah, it
days. They all have tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Should never tattoo your faction on you, though, because it makes it really hard to go like undercover and stuff.
Also, maybe, what if you want to change factions, you know?
Yeah, I
maybe,
guess,
Maybe
yeah.
your faction is evil and you don't know yet.
Seriously, dude?
He wants some coffee.
Yeah.
You know you want coffee.
This is gas freighter Rocinante request.
His desire for coffee outweighs his disdain.
Imagine having the skill of spaceship pilot. That'd be pretty awesome.
It It would be awesome until you realize that you had to, like, use it all the time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I can't even fathom the idea of having, like, airplane pilot as your skill, so I guess it's equally fantastical in my mind.
Instead of the possibility of you, like, crashing, it's more like the possibility of you ending up floating
in a vacuum forever.
Vacuum of space, yeah.
All right, well, rock bottom. Why is it called rock bottom?
I think, because I think somebody threw rocks.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That guy, the random miner guy, who tried to save his nephew by putting him out in space. And then, so, how did the guy actually driving the spaceship, did he die by doing that?
I think it was, a suicide mission. Because, I mean, he threw the rocks, I guess he threw them kind of around his ship, but at the same time, I'm sure that they returned fire when they saw what was coming, but there was no way for them to get out of the way of it, like... Right. It was all just, like,
I mean, yeah, it's just like a gigantic shotgun blast, It's that's a really, really bad news. Have you seen the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
No.
It's pretty much a 90-minute demonstration of the dangers of space debris and how little objects flying in space will be very, very harmful.
Yep, no wind resistance, no gravity to pull them down or, change their trajectory at all. They're just going at the speed they're going, and then
they hit whatever they hit.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So we got our crew making a deal with Fred Johnson to go out and retrieve the survivor from the Scopuli, who's using a code name. I would understand that that's probably Julie Mao, right? We saw her alone on the Scopuli.
I would assume that's... Well, you know what happens when you assume, but so far that's the only person that we've seen on the Scopuli besides, like, the main crew.
Right, yeah.
At all, so...
And maybe the show is trying to get us to put together that, it's going to be Julie Mao, they're going to go rescue, and then it won't be her, it'll be somebody else, so...
Guess we'll find out.
I liked that Miller sort of laid out the chain of events for us there, being like, okay, so people on Phoebe Station made a discovery, and then OPA people went to get it, and that went south, and now that's why all this is happening. It's...
Ships start blowing up, he says.
Yeah. The Scopuli and the Donager and the Canterbury all blown. Yeah, so I don't think that we have enough pieces yet to really know what's at play here and who these people are. But
and as far as I can remember, we still don't have any new information about the blue glowing stuff on the Scopuli in the first episode, which they said some kind of bioweapon.
Yeah, I think that might be what this most recent video was talking about, is whatever we saw there,
I would have to maybe watch that scene again, but I think there was like a blue glow in the guy's helmet while he was talking.
But that just could have been one of his TV lights,
Those
lights that they put inside the helmets for TV purposes. We saw some of Avasarala again on Earth. She was trying to get some intel, talking about
Waterworld or the
Underwater World. Yeah, that's not what it's called anymore. Now it's called something else. But when they first opened that at Mall of America, it was called Underwater World. And she was trying to get spies on Tycho Station because she suspects that Fred Johnson is somehow connected to all this, and he was, I think, using equipment that was for the building of the Mormon fleet in order to monitor the Donager during that episode when the space battle was happening. Like, he was like, point those sensors towards the Donager. So I think that he is actually using this enormous Mormon interstellar project to do other stuff. So she's right to have that instinct, but I don't know if her exact instincts about what he's doing are correct.
It is hard to know with this show.
Yeah.
Unless something is like explicitly told to us that this is what is happening, and we know 100% for sure. There's a decent chance that it's just something totally different.
Anderson Dawes seems to think he's got legitimate opportunities to grow his power right now, though, and he's not really, doesn't have any time to fuck around. He seems like he wants to be making moves quickly, and you're either going to be his ally or you're going to get out of his way.
Yep.
So we'll see what he's able to
accomplish. Originally.
Yeah, I think I still do.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's, I don't know, he's kind of an idealist in a specific kind of way, and he's kind of like short-sighted in how like the ultimate effects of like if he follows through with his plan, like, how is that really going to look, dude? Like,
well, but he understands sacrifice. I mean, he tells that story about having to sacrifice one of his sisters for the other three. You know, that's... So I think that he definitely... He's an idealist because he wants a better world. He's seen the injustice firsthand, and so he's prepared to try and make some hard choices to make a better world for people of the future to live in, I guess. You know?
At the expense of what, though, is always kind of my question, you know?
Exactly. Well, what Miller said to him, right? Like, we all have to die. Everyone has to die for the better world except you, you know?
Right, exactly. It's kind of like, he's kind of putting himself... I mean, he's like, you know, it's for my people, it's all, you know, and that's honestly kind of what they all say when it comes to, like, kind of an extremist attitude of, like, I will make the world better and I'll be the one to, like, drive this thing. And it's like, well, okay, so how many, or you talking about the death of this one person that's important to you in your life, but then, like, how many other people have, like, died at the hands of, like, what you're trying to do?
Exactly, yeah. You know who else talks that way? Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't mean
Trust
that you're right.
me, it'll be better this way. It's just all these people have to die, you know?
Yeah.
And like Thanos, I think, you know, Thanos also considered the possibility that he would be one of the 50% of life who he kind of expected it when he snapped his fingers that he might go too. And I think, you know, this guy's thinking the same thing. Where he's like, you know, I might die at the hands of this cause. But he's trying to put, I think, other people out in front of him to make sure that he's the one who kind of makes the final call at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which is just... It's just hard to like. You know, there's very few situations where it actually turns out that, like, you know what? He was right. And this is way better. And like,
but at the same time, that doesn't mean that the answer is just lay down and accept an oppressive way of life. And, you know, like, well, I guess they just have the upper hand forever, and that's the way it goes. You know, it's like, you can't blame someone for saying we need to do something, you know, but it's just the question of how. So
it's just one of those great moral gray areas that we deal with. It's, you know, there's a lot of situations like that in real life, on Earth life right now. You know,
exactly.
What's sort of the greater evil here, and how do we decide what that is? You know, or like who would really where's the better reality really exist?
Yeah. What are the changes really going to bring about? You know.
Yeah.
What will the new world really look like? You never know when you try to implement changes, and so that's the problem. Unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences seems to be a theme in this show in a lot of ways, yeah.
And a theme on this channel. I'm going to use that to segue to... We've been having our encounters with some of the YouTube copyright wraiths. You know, we've had some of our videos blocked briefly. You may have noticed some things missing from the channel for a little while or going back up.
We're trying to get the content to the people.
That's right, and we're trying to figure out what guidelines we need to follow to be able to make sure that can happen on a consistent schedule. But in light of that, we're going to need to chop up the episodes, as you know, obviously just seen. You just come through it. We chop these to pieces. We're thinking pretty soon we want to get full-length reactions to you guys. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to include episode footage in full lengths. We can't be distributing that, but we give out the full-length reactions in watch-along format, so I know a lot of you audience guys are very diehard about this show, so we can have the full uncut reactions available. We're going to set up a Patreon pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that if you'd be interested in getting that footage, so you won't have to see the chopped-up YouTube copyright versions. Just thought I'd touch on that.
We're gonna try and work with them to be able to show you guys, like, as much as is needed to, you know, as much as is possible, and without, you know, kind of crossing the line into bad copyright territory.
Right.
But, you know,
we gotta play nice with the big copyright gods.
We're gonna post those too soon. So
yeah, right on. But I think that's probably a good place to stop. And I mean, unless you got any more for this episode, or
I don't think so.
All right.
We'll try to make like a little bit more minute predictions about what's going to happen next, but to be honest with you, I just have absolutely no clue.
No, yeah, they just added a bunch of more elements here. They didn't really give us much to predict from, so yeah, it's I'm really excited though. I like this show a lot. I'm really eager to see where we're going and what else is going to happen and when someone's going to throw a rock at the Earth. Because Avasarala is worried about people who throw rocks.
And we just saw given a demonstration of what that can actually kind of look like.
That's right.
And that would be, I'm picturing just that one little asteroid that the guy was dragging behind his ship, and that coming down on top of like a city on Earth or something like that.
That's a big impact.
That would be, completely leveling, you know. Shockwaves from that would be devastating. Anyway.
All right. Until next time, I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
This is Catch Up Packets.